Excuse me. Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Give it just a second. I just want to make sure everything's working on my side because I have it pulled up right over here. And once it looks like the audio's good, the video's good, we'll get started. But this is just going to be a Q&A for August. Let me see how this is looking. Oh, it's very dark. Let me see this. Well, it's quite dark. Interesting. Okay, well, it's a little darker than I was anticipating, but I don't want to mess with the settings and everything, so it's just going to be a little dark today. All right, so we'll be okay. We'll survive. In fact, I'm going to open up my window over here. Give us a little bit more light. Let's see if that helps at all. Okay. We're going to go with it. It's going to be a little bit of glare on the glasses, but you're not here to see my pretty face. You're here to listen to my voice and the things I have to say. This is going to be a pretty chill session. We're just going to do a little bit of Q&A. It's time to ask me anything you want to ask me. I have my laptop set up right over here, so I can vet your questions and get your questions. I will also be doing a giveaway, so that's going to be really fun. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Let me mute this laptop, because that's going to get annoying. But I'm also going to be doing a giveaway for free courses for Analyst Builder, just because I want to, because I want people to have that, and I think it's a great resource. And so let me get to the chat over here. Let me get the chat up and going, and then I'll start answering questions. That's it, and we'll start rocking and rolling. It usually takes me a little while to get these things set up. I'm not a good live streamer, but I do it for you guys. I really do. Okay, I'm going to come right over here. I'm supposed to go to this certain part of this. The go live. Yes. There's the chat. All right. We're in. We're doing good. Let me see who's all in here. Let's see. Been watching your videos. Greetings from Nigeria. Hey, Josh. How's it going? JB, do you have any supply chain analytic classes coming up? No, not really. Supply chain is not my expertise. I have a lot of experience in healthcare and then some in IT, but none in supply chains. Not really my specialty. But let me see. I'm just going to say hi to some people. Anastasia, how's it going? Met Wally, great name. Brittany, Anas, Sohitha, that's a cool name. Hey, everybody. Roxas asked a very important question. What should I eat for breakfast? I'm going to say something a little healthy. Okay, try to eat something, not cereal. Try to eat some eggs, eat some protein, maybe, chicken or something like that, or like a veggie omelet. That's a really solid way to start the day. Chandra, how's it going? Ernesto, what's going on? A lot of Avery's in here. What's going on, Avery? Avery Smith's another great creator. How's it going, man? Good to see you. I was just talking to you the other day. Let's see. Lots of good stuff in here. So here's how this is going to work. This is going to be a super chill live stream. This is just a live stream that I try to do once a month. I missed last month, so we're doing it this month. But I'll go long. I'll be here for like an hour and a half. People just come in. They ask me questions. I try to help people. That's all I try to do. And throughout this live stream, I'll be giving away some free courses to my platform, Analyst Builder. Those are my free courses that I created that I'm very proud of. And it's an amazing platform. I want people to have access to that. Maybe they haven't been able to try it out because, wherever they're from, it's too expensive, or they've never heard it before. And so I want people to try it out. And so I'll be giving away free courses throughout the live stream, just because I really appreciate you guys. Hello from Egypt. Wow. Met Wally, Egypt. That's awesome. What time is it over in Egypt? It's not like the other side of the world. I imagine it'd be quite late or later at night, because it's morning my time. It's 9:30 in the morning. All right. I am going to actually start answering questions because I've just been babbling here for what? It's been 4 minutes. This is ridiculous. Let's get into some real questions. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, that's okay. If I don't get to your question, please don't spam the chat. I'm just going to block you because people don't like seeing that. So I'm going to do my best here. All right. This one is Nabil the Analyst. Love the name. It says, I'm a 42-year-old. Is it possible to change career to a data analyst, or is it too late? I think genuinely it is very possible at most ages. And here's my logic. If you're 42 years old, you probably have experience in something. Now, not everyone who's 42 years old is going to have something that's very relevant to data analytics, right? But for a lot of people, they're going to have experience in an industry. Maybe you were a nurse, or maybe you were a teacher, or maybe you were something. Well, there's always the opposite side of that where there's data for that type of industry. So I've worked with a lot of nurses and a lot of doctors who were doctors and nurses for 20, 30 years. And then they were 50 years old and they're like, hey, I really want to get on the data side of this because I find it very interesting. That domain experience was invaluable. So they got a good high paying job by switching because they knew the hands-on work that's needed. And so honestly, I do think that a lot of people, yourself especially, are not too old. Just depends on what your experience is in and if you can translate that back to the business world or like the data side. But it's very possible. Arctic Phoenix, do you think AWS, S3, and all that is worthwhile to learn for an analyst? When you're first starting out, I would say no. It's very complicated. I would say it's a lot more challenging than just using some database on your local computer. It's much more challenging because you're managing resources, you're connecting things to all sorts of different things. It can be kind of challenging. So for most people just starting out, I would say no, I wouldn't recommend learning the cloud right away. Now, by doing that though, you are restricting yourself from certain positions because there are a lot of jobs that are in the cloud now. And a lot of companies are using Google Cloud Platform or AWS or Azure. And so by not learning it, you're limiting yourself to some of those jobs that don't have that. And that's okay because there are still a lot of jobs that don't use those skills. But I do recommend learning it eventually. But I would start with the basics: Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Python, R. I recommend learning those first. Get really comfortable using those because when you get into the cloud, it's just a little bit more complex on how all these things fit together. You're dealing with firewalls and connectors and access to different things. It's just very confusing. And so I would not rush into that. That's like something you learn after all the basics and you know them really well, and you built some projects. That's my take on it. Let's see. Cheers from Poland. Hey, Axel. Axel F. Cheers from Poland. Cheers from the United States. Thanks for being here. I'm 45, want to change into analyst technology. Hey, same thing that I was saying before. Age, as long as you have some experience in something, I think it can be translated if you find the right industry, you find the right job. Let's see if I see any good questions. Can you make a playlist of practice questions in SQL for interviews? Mohammed, I'm going to do one better. I made an entire website where you can practice for technical questions in SQL. There's like 125 plus questions on there. Go to analystbuilder.com, go to the questions page. There's free ones. Try those out. But I've also made videos on SQL technical interview questions on my YouTube channel. So you can just go check those out too. But you can practice them for free on Analyst Builder. So do that. What industry is best for a new data analyst? This is a good question. There's so many industries out there. Like you wouldn't believe. Once you actually get into it, you're like, oh my gosh, you can be a data analyst in so many different industries. And that's very true. Excuse me. I'm a little sick today, by the way. So I apologize if I sound really nasally or cough and sneeze. I have found that there are a lot of data analyst jobs in kind of what I would consider the big three, which is healthcare, finance, and tech. I consider those the big three, but that doesn't mean they are the big three. There's other ones, but I usually find that most people get their foot in the door in those types of industries. Then when you branch out from there, there's so many different niches even within those industries. For like healthcare, for example, most people will think, oh, I'm working in like a hospital. Well, there's the claims data. There's the patient data. There's insurance companies. There's, what are they called? PBMs. There's all sorts of different healthcare related ones. And so there's like, in America, especially in the US, there's a million jobs in healthcare. millions of jobs in healthcare. And so data is a big part of that. And so I usually tend to say, hey, look, if you're interested in healthcare, there's a lot of opportunities out there. And so that's what I think. But if you're interested in sports, if you're interested in construction, if you're interested in agriculture, there's data jobs in those niches and in those areas. There are. You just have to find them or know where to look. Hey, Alex, any chance for a scholarship on Analyst Builder? Much love from Nigeria. Well, you were in luck. I'm going to be giving away free courses today. Just so people are aware, you're going to have to be logged into Analyst Builder and be ready to input a code, because I'm just going to give the code. And that's at checkout. So you're going to go select a course. You're going to be ready to type the code in and try to get it for free. So just be ready for that when I do that. I'll be giving them out throughout the whole time. So I'll give it out in not too long. It does this every time. If you've been watching my live streams, you know it does this to me every single time. It's so frustrating. But I see a ton of questions. Hey, Matthew's in here. Matthew, thanks, man. Thanks for being here. That's my moderator. Great guy. Great guy. And if you start messing it up, you start saying things you're not supposed to, Matthew's going to get you. He will. I skipped a bunch. I'm going back. Oh, geez. 4:35 p.m.? Okay, that's not bad. Met Wally's in Egypt, so it's 4:35 p.m. That's not too bad. I don't feel bad anymore. Before I did. Oh, there's a lot of questions. I'm very behind. I gotta get going. For this from Darren. Hey, Alex, just started the roadmap course, finishing my SQL section. Other than the questions on Analyst Builder, what is the best way to keep practicing? The best way is to build your own database and connect that to something, and then analyze that data. It sounds very simple, but you'll find it to be quite challenging. I know I did for a long time. I even run into challenges today. This isn't like I don't run into challenges, but I just know how to get past them now. But that's the best way to learn, is when you're working in something like a SQL environment, connecting to a data source and pulling that data in and automating that process, and then analyzing that data, connect that to a BI tool. That is what the real world looks like. And that's kind of the next stage of practicing. It's hard to get there because there are a lot of bumps to overcome to actually know how to connect data, know how to connect to a Power BI tool, or not Power BI, but connect to a BI tool, know how to clean the data and use the data, and understand access and firewalls and all these different things. That's kind of the next stage. That's what I would be doing if I were you. But you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. Huzefa says, how much time will it take to complete your data analyst course in YouTube? So I have a full data analyst boot camp for free on my YouTube channel. It's like 70 some course lessons. That's going to take a while. Most people who've been messaging me have said they watch one a day. That's 2 months. Because there's 75 videos in there, and I'm adding more because I have my AWS and Azure series, which is another 10 videos that I'm gonna be adding. I would say give yourself 3 months to complete it. But you can skip pieces of it. If you already know Excel, skip the Excel part. If you already know Tableau, skip Tableau, right? But if you're starting from scratch, completely new, don't know anything, that is the best free resource in the entire universe. That's not just me saying that. Although I also say that. But genuinely, it'll take 3 months, I think. I thought this was a question, but it wasn't. Just said, Ofaha Ugochi. Hi, Alex. I've been an ardent follower and learner. Thanks a lot. Ugo from Nigeria. Hey, Ugo. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. What time is it in Nigeria? It's not similar. My geography is not good, so I'm trying to think of time zone. Many hours behind. I think is that nighttime there? Guys, don't get mad at me. All right. Anamika from Ireland. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Do you need Python for data scientist? Ooh, so for data analyst, I would say you don't need Python. It's just a great skill to know and to have, and I've used a lot throughout my career. For a data scientist, I actually think it's more important. Data scientists tend to use a lot of machine learning, and there's so many companies. I mean, I would say the majority of companies use a lot of machine learning through Python, right? So, TensorFlow is just the top one that I'm thinking of. I was thinking of scikit-learn and all these different ones. I don't do a lot of machine learning. I did very little of it, or I did a little bit of it back when I was on a data science team 4 or 5 years ago. And we used Python and R. So we used R and Python. So I would say, yeah, for a data scientist, I would really learn Python. I really would, if I'm being honest. I don't know if you need to be an expert, but I would learn Python. All right, guys, I'm about to do something horrific. I need to wipe my nose. It's got to be done. Don't share this. I just use like a roll of toilet paper because I'm cheap. I don't like buying real tissues, and they're just as soft. Okay, so you guys can judge me all you want. For ease of use, should I pick Power BI or Tableau? The tale as old as time. I always get asked this question: Tableau or Power BI? Either one's perfectly fine. If you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, if your company already uses Microsoft, you're a Microsoft shop, which is what I always call it, then do Power BI. But if you're not in that Microsoft ecosystem, maybe you're in a Google ecosystem, use Tableau. And I don't recommend things like Looker or some of these other tools right away, because Tableau is more universal. More companies use it. But Power BI, if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, and Tableau, if not, Tableau is great for sharing your projects too, because you can get a Tableau public account. So that's why I teach most people Tableau first, because you can create an account to showcase your projects. Let's see. I'm not even going to look at the comments, by the way, down below that are people are commenting, because I don't even want to look at them, because people are going to be commenting on what I've been doing, blowing my nose. I don't even want to see it. Oh boy, who's donating? You don't have to donate. 5 for 5. Matthew, he does this every time. So Matthew Alderman, he's my moderator here. He always gives me $5 for my 5 for 5 Wendy's. I will use that, by the way. I will use it, and I appreciate it. Give that a good old like. It always cracks me up because I forget about it, and then you do it, and then it makes me laugh. Anyways, let's keep going. From Bentonville, Arizona, Walmart Global HQ. What's going on, Clark? Thanks for joining. Let's see. I need more. Oops, I keep clicking on this. Is it possible to go get a job after a 5-year career gap? So Heatha, absolutely. I actually think career gaps, they do play a part. I'm not saying they don't, but I think that if you are in a good area, if you're in a good location, you have a good work experience, if you had experience before that, you can definitely jump back into the market. The market now, and I'm sure someone's going to ask about this anyways, but the market now is very touch and go. I mean, the economy is like, especially in the US, is like, we're like teetering. We're like, are we going to be okay? Are we going to go into a recession? Some big companies are laying off. Some companies are still hiring. And I'll talk about that more as we go on. Let me answer like 1 or 2 more questions. I'm going to give away some courses because we can. Let's see what this one says. Data with Dan. This isn't, I don't think this is a question, but it says, hey, Alex, you were a big reason I transitioned my career from food service management to data analysis. I have been a data analyst now for over a year after going back and finishing my degree. Dan, what an awesome story. That's so amazing. I love to hear that. I absolutely love that. Awesome work. Is Looker going to take Power BI in the future? No. Looker's not as good. I don't like Looker as much. No, I don't think so. No, it doesn't have as many features as well. Let's see. Oh, Data with Dan. Hey, Data with Dan said, I started a YouTube channel to document my development and give back and have and am learning. My question to you is, do you have any general advice for data analysts starting a YouTube channel? Dan, I love what you're doing, man. You learned, you got a job, you're giving back. Absolutely love doing. I love people who do that. I actually have a whole video on how I recommend people do that. Just go look up on my channel, like a data. I made a whole video on creating a data YouTube channel. So I think more people should do it. Not only to help other people, but to also, you learn a lot when you're teaching people. Like if you're going through the learning process, you force yourself to really learn something in depth before you teach somebody something. Otherwise, they ridicule you in the comment section. It's a fantastic motivator. I know I learned a lot throughout my 5 years of doing YouTube. And so my biggest recommendation is make content that you'd find valuable, that you think beginners or people who are in your niche would find really valuable. And then find a place to share it. Find a community, go on LinkedIn, share that with people who might find that interesting. That is my biggest advice. But I have a whole video, so go check that one out. All right, last question, then I'll do a giveaway, and then we'll go back to the questions, I promise. For a BI job, to what level should we learn DAX? And what level of, oh, geez. Okay, somebody donated. I'll check that out in a second. Thank you for donating. I'm gonna finish this question. I'll go see what that is. What level of SQL is required? Is familiarity with Windows functions in SQL necessary? Okay, that's lots of questions, so I'm gonna answer it pretty quick. Um, for a BI job, a level of DAX, for very simple jobs, like when you first start using Power BI, you're probably not going to use a lot of DAX, which is how you write different expressions to perform different calculations and things like that. But as you get more advanced, like I know when our team transitioned from something called ServiceNow, we transitioned over to Power BI. I had a whole team that I was managing. We had all these calculations and different expressions over here in ServiceNow that we had to translate over to Power BI. So we had to dive deep right away. And so there's a lot of advanced docs that needed to be done. And so it's good to know how to use. So what level? Just learn the basics. You learn the basics 90% of the time. And I have a whole lesson on docs on my YouTube channel for free in Power BI. What level of SQL is required? No, for an entry-level job, you should be going through all of my beginner, intermediate, and even advanced. You don't have to understand it perfectly, but just understand the basic concepts. You should understand that. I have on Analyst Builder, I have a full advanced and there's a regular course and then the advanced course. The advanced course goes quite a bit. It talks about indexing and some more complicated stuff. You don't have to know all that. That stuff's it's more advanced. Just know all the way up through joins and at least a window function. Like you should know window functions. So joins, window functions, grouping, CT maybe, subqueries maybe. That's what I would say. All right, I'm gonna get to these. Okay, Matthew, come on, guy. All right, he donated some more money. He said, with all the tech out there, like Airflow, Kafka, what are the risks of building your entire data engineering stack on something like Fabric versus piecemealing technologies? This is a beautiful question, and this is not a question I get asked a lot. And I actually really love this because we at Analyst Builder, along with a lot of the companies that I consult with, ask similar questions to this. And I have good experience in this area. So Airflow, Kafka, there's a bunch of other data orchestration, data pipeline tools out there. These are open source tools that you can just go use. There are paid options for a lot of these services, but you can use a lot of these things for free. So you can do that. And then versus using something that's already built out for you. Like, for example, he was saying Fabric. So Microsoft Fabric is, oh, one of those things disappeared. I hope I didn't miss one. Microsoft Fabric is just Microsoft's like kind of all in one. Hey, we have everything for you. You can do your data orchestration, your data storage, your data warehousing, everything, all in one place. So there's two lines of thoughts with this. One, if you go with Microsoft, you're using Microsoft Fabric, you are stuck in that ecosystem. Because as you scale, it's going to cost 10 times more money to switch to a different system. So that's why Microsoft builds those products specifically. In fact, really all Microsoft Fabric is a bunch of different tools that they built that were all siloed that you could connect with connectors. They put it all into one package. And that's what they're trying to do. They want you to use their products. That's what Microsoft is there for. So the biggest thing is one, it's going to cost more. So Microsoft has put all that work into it. So it's going to cost a lot more money. It's hard to give you an exact amount, but let's just say, with Airflow and some other database that you could get very cheaply, or even host your own like Postgres database somewhere, you can do that so cheap. If you try to do the same thing on Fabric, it's going to be like 100 times more expensive. But you'll most likely have a lot more reliability because you know that Microsoft's going to be pretty reliable. So for a larger company, a medium-sized company that's making $1 million in revenue, you're going to want to have some structured system in place. You can do that if you have a data engineer who knows what they're doing, or a software engineer, or whatever your system is. But if this looks like a data engineering stack, if you have someone who really knows what they're doing, let them do the open source. You can go up and running. You can build a product on these open source tools. That's what a lot of companies do. And so for Analyst Builder, we have some things that we use AWS for things like Kubernetes and a few other services, but a lot of other things we're using a lot of open source stuff. And so we're a kind of half and half, but we use some of these services. So I'm just gonna try to I like that question, so I was kind of going into it a little bit. But the risks of open source are that the open source can always change. And with that, then you need to upgrade certain things. So every piece of it is connected. You need to go and upgrade, this tool or this tool. With Fabric, they usually do all those updates automatically. They give you warnings ahead of time. It's a little bit easier to maintain time-wise. With doing open source, you're just subject to changes in the software that you weren't aware of, or that the people who are contributing to this open source software are doing. So I would say you're more likely to have some type of break in service going open source. And so again, that's why I was talking about revenue. If you have a lot of revenue, if you're making a lot of money, you want to be more secure. You want to have more reliability with your product, just in general. But if you want to, send me a message somewhere, and we can talk more about that. All right, I'm gonna go back. Okay, I said I was gonna do a giveaway. Let me go over here. All right, guys, here's what's gonna happen. This is all that's gonna happen. You don't have to pay for this. You don't have to do anything. I don't even want anyone to pay for anything today. I just want people to get some codes. So I'm gonna be giving away a couple codes throughout this stream. What you need to do is go to analystbuilder.com. You should already have an account. Everybody should. It's the best place in the world. But go to the courses section. I'm gonna make sure I know what I'm saying here. Go to pricing, go to courses, pick a course, like click the buy button, but don't buy it. Do not actually purchase it. I don't want you to. Just find one that you like. Like, oh, I want to do cloud computing essentials for AWS. I'm gonna buy that. It'll take you to like the checkout screen. Here's where you're gonna need to add the promotion code. Now, there's other people who are in this chat, so you may not get it. I'm gonna give you a code. Some people get it, some people won't. This one that I'm about to give you. Well, give me a sec. Am I still going? Okay, I'm still going. This thing my screen turned off. This code that I'm about to give you, 5 people can redeem it. So this one alone, 5 people can get. So is everybody ready? Is everybody at the checkout? They're ready to type in the promotion code. Some people guessed it last time and guessed it correct, and I was very mad at them. I'm just joking. I was impressed. All right. This one right here, 5 people can redeem a free course. It's completely free. I just want you to have it. All right, here we go. The code, all caps, put that caps lock on, is coconut. You heard it right, coconut. So type in coconut into that promotion code, click pay. Don't buy it if your code doesn't work. You don't have to. I don't want you to. I just want to give away some free courses. So go ahead and put in coconut. It's all caps. Someone just asked, is it case sensitive, Clark? Yes. It is all caps. I hope people are redeeming it. Let me see. See if people have used it. Oh, I guess it hasn't reached the chat yet because it takes a second. Don't put coconut in the chat. Put coconut in the checkout at the discount code. It's going to give you 100% off. Don't put coconut in the chat. Lewis, I see you. Don't put coconut in the chat. All right, those were all redeemed. Awesome job. If you got one, be sure to put it in the chat. Say you got the course. Tell me which course you actually got. Santiago, didn't you get a course before? I think you did this before too. You got one last time. Am I remembering that correctly? Don't worry if you didn't win, by the way. I'll give out more throughout the day. I'll probably be giving out like 15 courses just for free, just for you guys being here. But if you got one, if it says it doesn't work, other people redeemed it first. You'll get more chances, I promise. This is just for a single course. So if you got one, put in the chat that you got one. I'm going to start answering some more questions. And then we'll get going. All right, I'm gonna go back up a little bit because I missed some questions. Angela R just donated $5. Didn't have a question. Angela, thank you. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that. I really do appreciate it. Let me go back. let me go back and look in here. Okay, Mr. June 30. This is a good question. Excuse me. I mentioned this before. I'm a little sick today. I actually was much more sick yesterday. I would not have streamed yesterday, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. But I apologize for being sick. Mr. June 30, after doing projects and putting them in your resume, which I recommend doing, good job. What is the confidence we definitely will get a job? There's no guarantee. There is no guarantee. In fact, there's a lot of different factors that go into getting a job. But here's what I'm gonna kind of just talk about the job market. I'm gonna talk about location, industry. I'm gonna talk about a bunch of different stuff. Right now, the market sucks. Plain and simple. The market's like teetering on, are we gonna go into a recession? At least in the US. Are we gonna go into the recession or are we not? Companies are worried, individuals are worried. I don't know what's gonna happen 100%, but I've made many predictions in the past that seem like they're pretty accurate. In terms of getting a job, in this market, it's gonna be pretty tough. I have been recommending that people try to look towards their closest metropolitan area. That's where we're gonna get a lot of in-person jobs. In fact, I made a post about this the other day on LinkedIn. I was just like, I've noticed that a lot of jobs now are requiring in-person. There's a lot less remote jobs than there were 2, 3, 4 years ago. So if you are in person, if you're near a major city, then you have a lot better chance of getting one of those in-person or hybrid roles. And so I think that's a big differentiator. Now, just looking at a resume, purely looking at a resume, that's it. Having those projects on there is really great, especially if you have no experience, right? You just out of high school or just out of college, no work experience at all. Those projects are really helpful, and I recommend placing them towards the top so you can showcase your skills, showcase what you can do, and hyperlink to those projects in your GitHub or your website that you have those stored in. Because when somebody sees the skills, they see projects that are similar, at the very top of your resume, that's a very good thing. So hopefully they'll look at those things before they go down and see, oh, he doesn't have experience, but hey, up here, they really do have what we're looking for. Let's bring them in for an interview. That's what your resume is there for, is to help you get interviews, nothing else. Your resume won't get you the job. Your resume is there to get you interviews. That's it. So confidence, I mean, it's just, there's so many factors right now with where you live, with the market, with a bunch of different stuff. So I wouldn't say there's 100% confidence, but everything you do increases your chances of getting a job. Creating a good resume, adding projects, creating a portfolio website, reaching out, working with recruiters, applying to jobs, reaching out to recruiters on LinkedIn, and to the recruiters of companies on LinkedIn. Like, all these things just increases your chances. Nothing guarantees a job. Nothing. Let me see. Abira Munir. Hi, Alex. Thank you for making things easy. I tried to clean data using Excel, but I got confused. Don't know which changes should be done or not. Abira, that's a really, I mean, it wasn't a question, but here's what I will say. When you're first starting out, it is very tough to know what things are supposed to be. How is data supposed to look? Because you haven't worked with it before. That's why I do a lot of guided projects on my YouTube channel and in my full courses. I do a lot of projects because, like you said, how do you know what it's supposed to look like? And so in my content, I always try to emphasize, here's why we're doing this. It looks like this. We're changing it to this because of X, Y, Z. There's a reason why we're changing it. So it can definitely be confusing, but hopefully in those videos or the course, whatever your content you're taking in mind, hopefully I'm explaining, here's why we're making these changes. It's because, the data is sitting like this, but if we want to use it for a visualization like that later, we have to convert it to this data type, or we have to change it from currency to numeric or something like that. So there's a lot of reasons, but if there's an actual issue, maybe it's your Excel version, like maybe you're using an older version of Excel that's not working, doesn't have the same functionality. I don't know. Trent does math. Appreciate the donation. You guys don't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. What do you think is the most valuable skills to learn as a data professional? What's the max dollars per hour spent learning? Thanks, Alex. The max, let me see what this, i.e. the max dollars per hour spent learning. So, I see what you mean. Like, what is the most valuable skill to learn that'll earn you the most money that's worth it to learn? SQL. It's always SQL. It really is. And I almost get no pushback on this from anyone ever because almost everyone in the industry knows I'm right. Um, SQL is just one of those skills you have to know. And I've been in this industry for 8 years now. I have gone farther with just SQL, and it's made me more money than any other skill. So that time, and when I first was learning it, I didn't know that it was important. I didn't know how important it was. But you should know because I have a ton of content on SQL. So SQL is the number one skill that I would learn. SQL and Excel. Like start with those always 100%. There's no question in my mind. Those will make you the most money across the board for any skill. Then if you skip, I wouldn't even say Python, Tableau, Power BI. I think those are good. I don't think they jump up in price. I think then once you start learning like the cloud, I think that's another jump up. Because when I started learning the cloud, I got a lot of interest in my experience and expertise in that area. So that's what I would say. I hope that helps. Thanks for the donation. You didn't have to do that. Greetings from Amsterdam, Gas P. We love you, Alex. Well, I love you, everyone out in Amsterdam, including you. It's true. Excuse me while I look for another question and blow my nose. Just ignore me. I'm not here right now. I'm going to do it on camera because I want to. I could do it out of camera. That wouldn't be my authentic self. I don't know what I'm saying. I just say things sometimes. All right, let's see. I'm looking for more questions. There's a ton of questions. I'm just looking for ones I haven't answered yet. Let's see. What's the best advice from a senior data analyst to a junior data analyst? The best advice. Honestly, when I was just getting started, I was focused a lot on just doing whatever I was asked. Like I would have a list. I used to use sticky notes. I'm looking at myself on the camera or on my computer. But I used to have like sticky notes. That's how I tracked my stuff in my first job. And I would just sticky note it off as I went. And I had this long, long list. And some of them I didn't even know I was doing them. I just did them because somebody asked me to do them. And I realized as I got further on in my career, I was like, I shouldn't do everything everyone asked me to because some of this stuff isn't my job, nor is it anything important. And some of these things are time consuming. Like these are not things that I should be doing. So as a senior analyst, if I was talking to a junior analyst, I was like, I would probably just tell them, figure out what's actually important. Start learn, because you're gonna make those mistakes when you're first starting out as a junior. You're just gonna do whatever because you don't know. But I would my recommendation would be start learning what's important in the business and how you can help that part of the business. So if it's, when I was working in healthcare, if it's helping the client at our, the doctors understand that process, go and do that without, needing to be asked. Just go and do it. Find where those business needs are and go try to help it and say no to a lot of stuff. The further along you get, the more you need to say no because the more you get asked to do stuff because you're better at stuff. But then that's when your time becomes more valuable. So just start understanding the business and finding what's valuable. That would be my advice. May GG, I've already taken the roadmap lifetime access. What can I do for the giveaway? May, you already won. All right, you already got the roadmap. You're living the dream. So, I mean, if you already have all the courses, then you probably won't need another course. But I'm just doing courses today. I'm just doing courses. I'll be doing another giveaway, let's say in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. I did do a DAX course or DAX lesson in Power BI on my YouTube channel. Yes, I did. So you can go check that one out. Let's see. There's a lot of similar questions, so I'm not answering all of them. So if I skipped your question, I apologize, but there are a lot of similar questions. Namil said, "You're so real, Alex. Don't worry about the tissue." I appreciate it. Thank you. I needed to hear that. Okay, this is a good one. Kareem El Mokhtar said, "Is it possible to start working as a data analyst with only the Microsoft Professional Certificate Power BI Data Analyst. First off, that is one of the only certifications that I do recommend. There's only 3. The Tableau desktop certification, the Power BI, or I think it's now the AWS Data Analyst certification, and then the Azure Data Analyst certification. Those are the only 3 that I think are even worth getting, certification-wise, because they're the only ones that are going to be big enough to be recognized by most employers who are in the Microsoft ecosystem, AWS ecosystem, or they use Tableau. And so those are the only ones that I really recommend. And so good on having that. That is helpful. I don't know if that'd be it alone, right? So Power BI is just one facet it's one tool, one part of our toolkit. So I would learn SQL, Excel, and I definitely think it would help. It's going to help you get a job, but it's not the only thing I'd be getting if I were you. Let's see. Okay, this is like an actual technical question. So this will be a fun one. Awayas Abasi, I need to create a weekly Power BI report of separately located 250 Excel files. Currently process 1.copy of all files, 2.combine using Power Query 3 to connect to Power BI. Please suggest a better solution. Okay. Well, this is a very common issue. And funny enough, I actually did something very similar to this with a consulting client. They had, I think it was a lot more than 250 Excel files, but they were all, so in the real world, here's what typically happens is the customer uses some type of CRM. They have some type of automated system to give a daily output. Let's just give that as an example. So the CRM is going to give a daily output of this data, and they drop it into some file, an SFTP folder, into a database, into a not a cluster. I'm sick. Give me into a bucket in AWS, into a storage account somewhere. Doesn't matter. It can be anywhere. But then over a year, 2-3 years, they just accumulate, and then there's thousands of them, and they're like, well, we actually want to use this data now, and so help us use that data. I don't know. It just says these are separately located files, but I'm assuming they're all similar. Because if they're 250 completely separate files that have no correlation to each other, and you haven't built any data model, you don't have any Power Query or something to pull that data in automatically, then that's going to take a while to build. But you can do it. But if they're all the same file, let's just, for sake of the technical question, let's just assume they're all the same file. If I were in your shoes, okay, well, so there's a few different ways you can handle this. One is you can bring it all into a database, which is maybe the easiest solution. There's a lot of open source solutions to do exactly that. But you just say, I want all these appended in, do a timestamp or a date stamp for each file so that you can all separate them if you wanted to, or know when they came in. And then when they're all put into a table, it could be 1 million rows, it could be 10 million rows, 100 million rows, doesn't matter. Then you just connect that one single data source to Power BI. That may be genuinely the simplest way. The next way is to use Python or use pandas or polars, depending on the size of the data. But that is something that I've done a lot. I've created a lot of automated systems to do exactly what you're talking about. Output a file into a location, pick it up by Power BI. You can ask ChatGPT to do that. ChatGPT could probably do 80% of it for you very, very quickly. And so pandas can do that if it's not a giant amount of data. If it is, use polars, because polars can handle more of it because of its underlying structure. Sorry, I'm looking at more questions. So that's what I would do. You have those two solid options, and I've done both of those for clients in the past, or when I worked as a data analyst in the past. Other options is maybe you could use Power Query in Excel to pull all that data in if it's a small amount of data. Maybe it's 100 rows per file or 1,000 rows per file. You could do that. There's a lot. Actually, now that if I think about it more, I could probably think of another like 3 or 4 options, but those are the best ones to do, in my opinion. Let's see. How to get, so Anju Maria. How to get data to build projects for data analytics for portfolio. So if you want to find data, go to Google Datasets. It's not Google Dataset. Like you don't go to Google and search dataset. You go to Google dataset. It's an actual place in Google. And they will bring you to, you'll type in, hey, I want healthcare data. They'll bring up resources to get healthcare data. It's a great place. That's where I've gotten a lot of my .gov stuff because I don't know exactly which gov to go to. So I'll go to Google data search and I'll search for data sets. Now, these data sets I recommend because they're very real. They're raw data. For example, in one of our courses, I think it was the pandas course. No. I'm forgetting which course it was. We used, which course was this? Let me go into my, give me a sec, because this is one of the best projects that I had done. I'm gonna find this real quick. It's not Tableau. Let me see if it was the pandas one. Movie food, no, it wasn't the pandas. I think it may have been the cloud computing. I can't remember. Oh, in one of my courses on Analyst Builder, we used this bus data set that I got from a .gov website. Fantastic data set. Had like 600,000 rows of data. It was messy. It was dirty. It was horrible. And we pulled it in. I can't find where this is. I don't remember which course it is in. It's not in my MySQL one, I don't think. Doesn't matter. Not important. Anyways, that is, you get such real world evidence of what real data looks like when you do that. Because when you use data sets from Kaggle, when you use data sets that are semi-cleaned, it's very easy. It's almost too easy. And in fact, that's why I don't really do that anymore. I kind of did that when I first started out doing YouTube because I wanted to make it easy for people. But I was like, that's not really realistic. It's not really what the real world looks like. So I do recommend using like .gov websites or excuse me, or websites that have real data. Forrest Knight, what's going on, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. I know we talked a while back, but I haven't seen you in quite a while. Thanks for dropping in, man. He says he's just here for the vibes. If you guys don't know Forrest Knight, fantastic YouTube channel. He's gonna pass me in no time. But he does a lot of software engineering, builds. I watched he made this whole series on, he was building this app. I don't know if you call it an app or like a website, but I watched that whole series because it was super cool. He was just coding the whole thing from scratch. Really smart guy. Great hair too. Jeez, what I'd kill to get his hair. Not kill him. I wouldn't do that. Somebody else though, maybe. All right, let me keep going. Thanks for being here for us. I appreciate it. All right. I don't have a full Power BI course yet. That's going to come out by the end of this year. I'm doing an advanced SQL, an AI course, and then the Power BI course. That's my what I'll be doing the rest of this year for Analyst Builder. So by the end of this year, we'll have a Power BI course, an advanced Excel, and an AI course by the end of this year. Excuse me, sorry, I'm sick. Don't look at me. Okay, here we go. Golnar Orok. Hi, you are great. Appreciate it. I did my interview 3 days ago, but no response. Should I write them? Because I'm an active job seeker, so I don't want to waste my time. Absolutely. I usually wait about... My dog's barking in the backyard. After I answer this question, I can't show you this, but I might put it on my Instagram. I'm just going to talk about it now, and then I'll go back to your question. I'm sorry. I think I have ADHD. I'm in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. It flooded so bad last night. Water got about that far away from my house. And our whole backyard is flooded. Our whole front is flooded. We cannot go anywhere. Cannot drive. It rained like 8 hours. We got 8 inches of rain last night. Flooded the pond that's right over near us, which overflowed and flowed into our whole yard. Like, we cannot walk outside. Our dogs cannot go outside. Well, they have to go pee, but cannot go outside. All that being said, we're flooded. It's bad. I'll put some pictures on Instagram. I usually recommend people at least waiting 5 days, 3 to 5 days after. Send an email. Just say, hey, really appreciate the interview. Thought it went great. Just wanted to hear back. If you're working through a recruiter, to say, hey, just want to see if you got any word from the hiring manager. if you're emailing the hiring manager directly, I would just say, hey, really appreciated interviewing with you. Really excited about this job. Wanted to check in and see if you had any thoughts or see what you guys are thinking. I don't know. Word it better than that. Use ChatGPT. It's smarter than I am. Hibbo 008, not 007, 008. Hi, Alex, Analyst Builder subscriber here. How can I leverage Azure and AWS course on your platform when looking for a job? Well, just one, going through that course, the AWS and Azure course, I go a lot more in depth than I'm going on the YouTube side. So it has a lot of extra projects and has a lot of extra stuff. So it's an amazing course for AWS and Azure. Like, it's a really, really good. You should build those projects. So some of those are data pipelines. And then you should build some type of narrative on it. You may not be able to upload that to GitHub because it won't be a file unless you download the data flow as a file. But that doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do that. My neighbor's calling me because of all the flooding. I get so distracted on these things. So how do you use that? How can you leverage that on your platform looking for a job? One, you're going to add to your skills. So you're going to have your skills section and add AWS, add Azure, in parentheses, write what you're learning. Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse Analytics, AWS RDS, AWS, what's it called? I'm blanking today. It's because I'm sick. Just, you know what I'm talking about. Add the tools that we're using in AWS, in Azure, in parentheses. Then, in your project section, write these projects that we're building in the course. Because in the course, we have a few automated data pipelines that are really good, from taking a flat file, putting it into a database, or taking a database and creating a report from it. These are things that are super real world applications that they do in every business ever. So do that. That's what I would do. How can AI be beneficial to a data analyst at work? Diudonum Nungum. I butchered that, but I appreciate the question. AI is helpful. Genuinely, and I hate to say this, I find myself using it really just for coding these days. That's about it. I don't find it super helpful with writing a lot of stuff, except for like templates. But it's really good for coding and debugging some more general stuff. I've been trying to debug some more technical things, and it's just not what it used to be. I feel like it used to be more helpful, but I'll try to debug it, and it just gives generic advice, and I'm like, this isn't helping. I'm giving you specific context. I want you to help me more. Anyways, I don't want to rant about this. But it's really good for coding. It's really good for helping debug things and asking questions. Like if you're, for example, let's say you're trying to, and this happened literally last night. Somebody's taking my AWS course, AWS and Azure course on Analyst Builder, and they were having trouble connecting AWS to their MySQL, because that was part of the courses. We're connecting it to MySQL for RDS, and they were having trouble with that. I'm like, okay, well, let's debug some of this. Do you have a firewall up? Do you have access up? Do you have this and that? And I was like, just ask ChatGPT. Input everything you've done, ask ChatGPT, and it helped. And so those are the types of things where it can be really helpful for. Do you need to know basic Prime? Hey, Alex, do you need to know basic machine learning to get a data analyst job? No, I don't use any data machine learning. It is good to know a little bit about machine learning, though, if I'm being frank. I worked on a data science team about 4 years ago. And on that data science team, they used R and Python for machine learning. And so I worked with them quite a bit, and it was good to know. But most data analysts are not on data science teams. Walter Stevens. Hi, Alex. My impression has been that to be a really good data analyst, one should excel in business analysis aspects or in the data engineering stuff. Comments. Honestly, I yes to both. Yes to both. I mean, I've worked at small companies. I've worked at big companies. And now through consulting, I've worked at every kind of company. I've worked at startups in Silicon Valley. I've worked with local companies here in Charleston, South Carolina. I've worked with big tech companies. And so I've gotten a little flavor of everything. Some data analysts, they just stay in their zone. They stay in their path. They do what a data analyst does. And they have other people, a business analyst, a data analyst, a BI developer, data visualization specialist. I worked on a team where I had all those aspects. And so I just stayed in my lane. There are some smaller companies or startups where you wear many hats. You do a little bit of business analysis or working with the clients and the customers. You do a little bit of the data engineering. You do a little bit of the data science. And so the more well-rounded you are, the better. There's no downside to knowing more. But back when I was at the large company, I did a lot of data engineering. So I worked a lot with data pipelines, a lot with automations, and that benefited me greatly. I'm so glad I got to learn that. But I never used that in the next job that I had at all. So, it just depends. It's job to job. Excuse me. Oh boy. Oh boy. My thing just skipped a ton. Please don't spam the chat. Thank you, Matthew. You spam the chat, Matthew's gonna get you. I mean, he is a bloodhound. He can smell the chat. He can smell the spam a mile away. Okay, here's a great one. I have great experience on this. Arnold E. Alex, greetings from Boston. Any thoughts about someone learning Salesforce, focusing on data analysis side of things, especially since Salesforce bought Tableau? So, I have known people. I know people. I'm friends with people who all they do, this is their whole career, is Salesforce. It is 100% possible to be a Salesforce developer, Salesforce consultant, Salesforce data analyst, Salesforce designer. Salesforce is like its own Microsoft ecosystem. You could be a Microsoft, what's it called? I'm blanking on so many things today because I'm not feeling great. You can be a Microsoft shop person your whole life and never venture out of it and have a very successful career. Same with Salesforce. You can go to Salesforce and you can work within Salesforce for your whole career. And there's a lot that you can do in Salesforce. I used Salesforce many years ago. 6 years ago, we used Salesforce. Definitely. No doubt in my mind that you can do that. If you really like Salesforce. You have to really like it, though. That's not my cup of tea. I don't like Salesforce that much, but I do like it. Okay, here's one. Maria Taj. Hi, Alex. As a recruiter, do you consider experience other than that in the U.S. as a candidate? So do you consider people outside of the U.S.? So here's what I'll say. Some companies do, some companies don't. When I was at my last company, when I was a hiring manager, I was building my own team, or I had my own team. We would consult all around the world. I had team in Lithuania, London, India, the United States, so different parts of the United States. And we had seven people. And so we would consult all around the world. Now, for those people in other parts of the world, depending on where they were either a contractor or they were full-time. On my team in Lithuania, we had 2 full-time people from Lithuania. But then we had contractors out who we would hire from India or the US. So it really depends on the company. But when I was a hiring manager, I just wanted someone who could do the job and who was reliable. And believe it or not, that's hard to come by. That is hard to come by. I need to blow my nose again. Just ignore me. I'm doing this for you guys. You guys can just put up with my nose blowing. I'm actually gonna. Don't mind me, guys. Oh, I feel so much better. Just ignore me. Just ignore me, guys. GB19. How do you know if web scraping is legal or not on certain websites? You will know if it is illegal if they block your IP. That is how you know. But you can also Google it. Web scraping on most platforms most large tech company platforms is not advised. But you will know because they'll block you and you will never have access to it again. And you have to use a VPN and then you can do it again. I'm not speaking from experience, but I've scraped every major platform out there. And you'll get blocked. That's all that'll happen. I've never gotten in any legal trouble because millions of people do this. So now I'm not the only one. And that's where a lot of companies actually, like Amazon, for example, companies that are trying to beat Amazon will scrape today's data of Amazon or minute data of Amazon and then just go like 10 cents lower, right? And so they keep active. That's how they keep tabs on competitors. Any place I can learn AWS Data Analyst course for free? Well, you are in luck because in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm starting my AWS series on YouTube. Completely free. It's going to be a great series. You'll learn a lot. But I also have a full AWS and Azure course on Analyst Builder. And I'm going to be giving away some more courses. Let's do that now. I said I was going to do that. All right. I'm adding a code. Actually, if you are not here, if you're new, I'm giving away a free course to analystbuilder.com. Here's what you have to do. Go to analystbuilder.com. You need an account. Don't get mad at me. Go to pricing. You can go to courses. Pick the course that you want to. You don't have to buy it. Nobody has to buy this. I'm just giving away courses for free, but I'm going to give you a coupon code that's going to give 100% off. And so you just need to be at the checkout. So like, okay, you're saying, oh, I want this Excel for data analytics course. Alex, this is the one I want. I need this. I need this in my life. Then you click add promotion code. I'm about to give you a code. You're going to type it in, try to buy it, or try to redeem it. It'll either say you got it or you didn't. The other people are typing it in too, so you may be too slow. That's not my fault. But I'm giving away another 5 courses. I'm going to create a new one right now. I'm going to type, while I'm writing it, this is going to be in all caps. I'm going to write it, and you guys can write it. I'm going to say, what do we want this code to be? I'm going to call it Sniffles. S-N-I-F-L-E-S. Sniffles. I'm going to limit that to, 5. Add. It's called Sniffles. S-N-I-F-F-L-E-S. All caps. If you redeem it, you get a free course. Just because. I appreciate you guys coming out. I appreciate you guys being here. So thanks for doing that. And thanks for being here. I genuinely am so grateful that you guys appreciate my content and and are here. That, I mean, what are those courses? $44. So that's 5 of us, 200 and some bucks per one for 5 codes. I'm glad to do that. I'm going to be giving away another 5 in a little bit. We've been going for an hour. I'll be giving away another 5 and then we'll be done with the giveaways. But I really do. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. And, I'm just very, very appreciative. Let's keep answering more questions. Apple Peel. Great name. Love that name. Apple Peel says, is learning R worth it at all? My master's degree has R in it alongside Python. Absolutely. Don't let anyone tell you, not even me. Don't let anyone tell you that R is not useful. I have worked and consulted at many companies that use R. I personally just like Python better. I like the syntax of it. I like the ecosystem of it. I like all the things I can do with it. R has its use cases. There are companies that use R heavily. So don't think that because Python in my mind is more popular or has a larger user base, that R is not useful. R is used by a lot of companies. A lot. So yes, it's fine. Thoughts on the current job market? Advice for entry-level job seekers in the field. Job market sucks. Job market is not enjoyable right now just because there's so much uncertainty in the market. And so a lot of larger companies are laying off employees just in general, just laying off like Intel. That's the big one right now. But there's other companies are laying off companies because they have to keep growing. That's their business model. Their business model is grow at all costs. And so because interest rates are so high, which makes borrowing money more expensive, which means they have to have more record profits to make more money, they have to lay off people. And that's a terrible thing. But Intel, I know, will hire back a lot of those people over the next several years, but they need certain profits and benchmarks to be met. That's just what has to happen. Has to, I wouldn't say has to. That's just what they do. So the job market stinks, but how for an entry-level data analyst, if I was starting over again today and I was like, oh, Jesus, job market sucks, what can I do? Local. My recommendation is go local. Get experience at a company down the street or in your city, at a small company. Get some experience somehow. Go try to work with a local recruiter. If you're in the middle of nowhere, there's no companies near you, that's going to be really tough. And that's just the brutal truth of it. It's tough if you're in the middle of nowhere. You're in the middle of Ohio, you're surrounded by 100 farms, and no one needs a data analyst. That's tough. That is going to be a lot harder to get a job. You can try to find remote jobs, but that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants a remote job. So if you're the person who's looking in person at companies local, who's working with a local recruiter, you're going to have the advantage. Instead of competing against 1,000 people or 2,000 people, you're competing against 40, 50, 100. You have much better odds. Much better odds. So if you follow my data analyst bootcamp on YouTube, where you learn Python, SQL, Excel, AWS, Azure, Tableau, Power BI, projects, portfolio, resume, it covers a lot. If you do all those things, you have a great resume, you have the skills, you have everything you need. You just need that first experience. Look local. That is my advice for a lot of people today, genuinely. Where should I learn Excel for free? My YouTube channel. Come on, man. Jelen Yakobu. My YouTube channel. I'm just messing, but for real. Good stuff on there. Ayush Gautam. I've applied to so many jobs with a nice resume, and I'm not getting any calls for interviews since 3 months. I don't understand. Is it about the ATS system, which rejects me, or the job market? So here's my general advice for people who aren't getting any interviews. Sorry, I just saw Forrest's smiley. That just made me laugh. My general advice for someone who's not getting interviews is it's most likely your resume or your skills and experience. If they don't want you to come in for an interview, it's because they don't think you're somebody they want to hire. And so if I'm looking at your resume and maybe hopefully you're using the template that I have in one of my videos, because that's a good template. I still use that one today for my resume. But it most likely isn't the ATS system. Like if you have a lot of the keywords in there and you have a lot of the action words and the quantitative type of descriptions, and you have projects and you have your contact section, the ATS system shouldn't be looking down on that too bad. If you do what I tell you, like I say in those videos, genuinely the ATS shouldn't be the issue. The issue is most likely that you're either applying not to the right companies, you're applying to jobs just through websites that have 1,000 other people applying, so your odds are very, very, very low. That's probably the issue. It's where you're applying or it's the contents of your resume. Let's see. Frizz, I got an analyst job. Alex, watching your vids. That's what I'm talking about, Frizz. That's what's good. Frizz is the man or woman. Frizz is, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's a guy or a girl. But awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations. Let's see. Solomon, yes, I have a full Tableau course on analystbuilder.com. Yes, I do. Oh, wow. Peter Olddahl said, your videos inspired me to become a data analyst, so I started to learn it. Now I am at a company for more than 2 years as a data analyst, and it's been great. Thank you so much for your videos. Dude, Peter, you're the man. I am so happy for you. Congratulations. Genuinely, you're going to look back in like 10 years, even 5 years. You're going to be like, it just changes your life. It really does. I posted about it this morning. Somebody sent me the nicest message. I was tearing up. Like I had tears coming down because they were just said that. I know, I'm gonna tear up. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm gonna tear up. They just said that I really helped them and their family, and it was really, really sweet. And I put it on LinkedIn. I'm gonna cry again. I get very emotional. I really just like helping people, and that kind of stuff really is really, really sweet. What about GitHub course? I'm going to be doing a full Git and GitHub series on YouTube. That's going to be my next series after AWS. So I have my Azure one that's finishing up in 2 weeks. Then the AWS one that's 5 weeks. Excuse me. After that, I'll be doing a Git and a GitHub series. So people can learn the basics of Git and GitHub because you need to know how to use those. Especially at medium-sized company. Small companies may not use them as much. Give me a sec. I'm a sympathy crier. Do you know what that is? It's where if I see someone else, like if I'm watching an emotional movie and the music is swelling and the people are like embracing or crying, I can't help but cry. We were watching a movie last night about this swimmer who swam the English channels like back in like the 40s or 30s. I don't even know, like 1800s. But it was the first woman to swim the English Channel, and then she did it, and like it was at the end, and I was tearing up, man, because I cry at those things. I've taken the data analyst roadmap access. If you put new courses, will I get access to those as well? So if you go to Analyst Builder and you buy on the bundle, there's the data analyst roadmap. If I add another course to the roadmap, the price would increase because I'm adding another course. And so that wouldn't be included because you're paying for the roadmap. You're paying for those courses in the roadmap. That's just how it works. The only one that gets new courses when they're added is that lifetime access to Analyst Builder. Any course I add in the future, forever, for our next 100 years, will be free. They're just included in that price. Speaking of price, I think it was yesterday, I posted on LinkedIn accidentally bashing somebody. I did not mean to do this. And many people pointed this out to me. But I said, it's ridiculous how expensive learning platforms are, charging you $60 a month or charging you like $400 for 1 year of access to their platform. I was like, that is ridiculous. I was like, the only reason that they have that is because they're trying to grow so fast that they have 20 people on their marketing team or their CEO wants like $2 million. I was like, I'm really proud that Analyst Builder is very affordable. And what accidentally happened, so here's the background. I then get like a bunch of people messaging me. They're like, hey, like that was like kind of mean. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, your competitor, Maven Analytics, I didn't want to call them out, but they just announced literally that morning that they were raising their prices to like $50 or $60 a month, and their yearly thing or their lifetime is like $1,500 or something. So they thought I was calling them out. I wasn't. I didn't even know about that. So I felt bad. I said, no, it wasn't about them. But I'm like really, really proud of how affordable we made our platform, and people all over the world can take it instead of just people in the US, because that's what most people do. They just want to make as much money as possible. And so I'm really, really proud of what we built. Anyways, that was just a little side comment. I thought that was hilarious. Really, really funny. Let's keep answering some more questions. I'm going to go for another about 15 minutes. I'll do one more giveaway about 5 codes, and then we'll be done for the whole stream. Frizz asks, what are the most important questions to ask stakeholders generally? That's a really tough question, if I'm being honest. It's a really tough question to answer because it depends on what industry you're in, what data you're working with. It's really hard to say, but typically you just got to dig into what stakeholders are asking you to do. If they ask you something, you ask, okay, well, what do you need this for? And as you ask more questions, you find out, well, they actually don't need this. They need like this version of this, or they actually don't need that data. They need this data and that data. It's kind of tough to generalize. I don't know how to make it generalized, but you just got to dig into what they want a little more. I'm just gonna read it and we'll answer it together. It says loading. Loading is the person. Hey Alex, I had my interview yesterday and I passed my MySQL round thanks to you. Hey, great job. But I didn't pass the case study / guesstimate round. Do you have any tips for that? I don't know what a guesstimate is. The case study is typically like they give you some type of scenario and they want you to talk through it. Sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it's written. But the case study, I mean, if you're in my MySQL interview course on Analyst, but I hate to talk about it so much. I really am not trying to. I go through those kind of general technical interview questions. I go through, we talk about, what's the data cleaning process look like? What's staging versus a prod environment? What's, all these different things. And so those are the types of things that you should look into. Just I don't know. You just kind of have to know how things are connected, know how things work for those case study types of questions. Louis Valderrama. Hey, Alex, love your content. I'm job hunting and doing company research, mock interviews, and informational interviews while continuing projects/learning. Any advice on what else to focus on? Thanks. It sounds like you're doing plenty, Louis. I would not stretch yourself too thin. Keep doing that. Divyansh said, Dell recently fired 12,500 employees to focus on AI. What do you think is an essential AI tool/skill to learn so that we can keep up with these layoffs? Thanks. Yeah, a lot of companies, I think, if I'm being completely honest, I think a lot of those layoffs they're blaming on AI. That's not the actual reason. It's just it's mostly for profits. But you need something to blame it on, and that's the nearest thing. The more you're in business, the more you will realize that most companies, they lie about that when they do layoffs. I'm not even joking. Like, I have talked to people who are higher ups in some of these larger companies, and they're like, yeah, we said it was for AI. It was just because we were trying to meet our budgetly quarter, and we had to lay people off. Or, they'll make up reasons. I'm not even joking. So I genuinely don't know if that's for AI. I actually don't think it is. They just need to lay off people to meet their stock market doesn't tank when they don't meet quarterly earnings. But you really should be just learn how to use ChatGPT for coding, learn how to use it with some data analysis, maybe the Copilot integration with Excel and all that's pretty junk. I did a review on that. It's not even worth learning that right now. But just learn generally how AI works and how you can use it in your job. I have a couple of videos on AI that you can check out. Tableau dying, business replacing it with Power BI. No, not really. A lot of people use Tableau. Millions of companies. The hurricane wasn't so bad for you? That's good. I'm glad it wasn't bad for you. It wasn't bad here until last night, which we thought it was done by Tuesday, Wednesday. The hurricane hit us with its last little something last night, and it's flooded. Our whole house, it didn't reach our house. It was that far from our house. If it had gone up another that much, our whole bottom part of our house had been flooded. Would not have been good. But it stopped, thank goodness. And it's going back, it's receding right now. I can tell it's going down. It just takes a while. Anthony, how long do you wait for an interview to follow up? 5 days or so, if they don't email you. And I recommend just reaching out twice. If they don't reach out to you after 2 times, there's no point. They're ghosting you. There's no point in reaching out more than twice, in my opinion. Let's see. Sorry, guys. If you're just joining, I am a little sick. I'm a little sick today. So bear with me as I answer these questions. Mr. Number 6. Thank you for donating. You did not have to do that. The question says, do you like pineapple on your pizza? I actually do. It's pretty good. I'm a sweet and savory kind of guy, so I like the sweet and the savory mixed together at the same time. So I like chocolate salty peanuts, or I like salted caramel, things like that. I really like those things. What are alternatives for beautiful soup for web scraping? There's a lot. Generally, just Google web scraping Python libraries. There's so many of them. Beautiful Soup is a good one to start out with. But if you want to scale it or automate it in some way, there are better libraries. So there's so many. I'm not going to go into them all, but yeah, just look at them. May GG, can I upgrade the roadmap to the lifetime bundle, please? Of course. And in fact, you don't even have to ask me. If you go, since you've already bought the data analyst roadmap, we developed this. So it was pretty sweet. No, when I say we, it was mostly Kasun and his team, who's our analyst builder team. If you've already bought the data analyst roadmap, you then, if you want to upgrade to the lifetime, we don't make you pay for those courses or those resources you've already bought. We take that off. So we remove it. So then your price instead of $350 would be it depends on how much you paid, but it'll be $150 or $200 or something. I don't know. But then you'll have lifetime access forever to the platform and all future courses I'll ever make. And I have a lot upcoming that are really going to be really good. So no, you don't. Yeah, you can upgrade very easily. You don't even have to ask. It's just on there. It'll say special offer. And then if you look at the tooltip, it says you've taken a course with us and we're rewarding that. Enjoy an exclusive discount on our course bundle as you expand your knowledge. Yep, that's what it's for. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome. What about people who don't have a degree? Talha. Honestly, I don't think a degree is the most important thing, at least in this industry. Excuse me, I'm sick. When you're sick, you can just do whatever you want. That's what I've learned. If you're sick or old, you can just do whatever you want. If you don't have a degree, I recommend following the exact same steps I've described for everyone else. Get the skills, get the projects, get the resume, get the portfolio website, work with recruiters, apply to jobs. Everything I've been talking about, I recommend. Sir Lancelot. Hi, Alex. I'm beginning my journey to be a data analyst. Greetings from Argentina. Well, greetings from Charleston, South Carolina. Hello, hello. Give me one sec. So this question says, how important is knowing statistics for data analysis roles? To what level should I learn it? Critter73, great question. Statistics is, of course, important. We're working with data, working with numbers. Statistics is important. There are levels of statistics. I, for myself, have stayed kind of on the medium to lower level of statistics for most of my career. For a small stint, when I was working with, maybe for a year with the data science team, I used some advanced statistics because we were doing machine learning and all these different algorithms and natural language processing, and there was some statistics in there. For the vast majority of my career, though, I've just used simpler things. I can tell you specifically things like mean, median, mode, distributions, standard deviation, and percentiles. Those are the things, and the reason I'm looking at is because those are the things in statistics that I've taught and made courses or videos on. Those are the things that I think you should know. Percentiles, standard deviation, distributions, mean, median, and mode. If you know those, you're going to be able to do like 90% of statistics for what a data analyst does, as well as just basic calculations. And I say that with all love to data analysts out there. Some use more, some use less. Excuse me. Will data analysts be replaced by AI? Nepri? No, I really don't believe so. And I talked about this before a long time ago, but back in 2023, the beginning of last year, when AI really started to take off, I really was really worried because I didn't know much about it. And I hadn't used it much. And everyone was saying AI is going to replace everybody, lawyers, accountants, data analysts, data scientists, data engineers. We won't need anybody anymore. I was really worried because of all the marketing, as what I would call it. But as I started using it, and now a year and a half, almost 2 years later now, no, it's not going to replace data analyst. It doesn't even replace a lot of the daily things that I would do as a data analyst. It just helps with it. I really do see it as a tool. And even then, it gets things wrong, it messes things up, and you have to know what you're doing. So a real data analyst is necessary, for sure. All right, let me see. I got 7 minutes. Then we'll do one more giveaway for 5 courses for free. Oh my gosh. I need to tell you about this story in just a second. That was nuts. My wife saved my life. Anyways, I'm getting distracted again. I'll answer a few more questions. So I'm going to tell you about the story really quick. I'll answer some more questions. We'll do the giveaway. Then we'll be done. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I got this little bump on my arm. No big deal. I wore a watch to go swimming. The watch rubbed up against it. It hurt. It was sensitive. Then I went down and took a nap. I woke up and I had this long red line running all the way up here. My wife sees this. I think I may have talked about this somewhere. My wife sees this and she's like, Alex, I think your bloodstream got infected. You need to go to the hospital. I was like, no, I think I just slept on it funky. I was taking a nap. I slept on a funky. She's like, no, Alex, she's like, you will not believe this. I just saw this on Instagram the other day. It said if you get an infection and there's a line running up your arm, that means your bloodstream's infected. You need to go to the hospital. So I was like, okay, all right. You know what? My wife's a smart person. I'll listen to her. I go to the hospital and they're like, oh yeah. Oh, this is very serious. Oh, Christine's calling me. Give me a sec. This is my wife. Hey, baby.
Hey, are you still in your live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you have a minute, you should come see your kids catching toads.
Okay, I will come down in maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay, love you.
All right, love you. Bye.
Bye.
That was my wife. She said my kids are out catching toads because the water's so high up, the toads are like all up near our house. So it's easy to catch the frogs. So anyways, I go to the doctor and she's like, oh yeah. She's like, that's really infected. She's like, if you hadn't to come in, you just then probably by tonight you would have had fevers, chills, and you could have gone septic and potentially died like within 2 or 3 days. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's insane. So they gave me medicine, figured it all out, and I'm alive. The live is ending in 5 minutes. People are asking, and yes, it'll be available on the YouTube channel. You can go watch it whenever you want, or not watch it. It's up to you. Let's see. Please include Power BI projects in AB website. Yes, on Analyst Builder, I'll be having a full Power BI course that will be coming out by the end of this year. I have advanced Excel for data analytics, which is going to cover macros, VBA, DAX, Power Query, Power Pivot. That's my next course, and then the AI course, and then the Power BI course. How long has it been since I started my career? I became a data analyst in 2017. I started out working at a nonprofit. I was a data collection specialist and analyst. I did that for about 6 months. That job turned south real fast. I got my next job, which I stayed a year, at a small healthcare analytics company. That was my first what I would consider like real data analyst job. I was using a lot of SQL, Excel, and Tableau. Then I started working at the Fortune 500 company. After that, worked there for about 3 or 4 years, and then became a manager of data analytics. Did that for a year, and then I quit my job to do consulting because as my YouTube channel grew, I had a lot of people reaching out wanting me to help them with things that I was teaching on my channel or help them with their company. So now I do consulting. It's a pretty great gig. I have a few companies and clients that I work with just on an as-needed basis. And love it. Love consulting. It's great. Let me see. I'm going to answer. I got time for like 1 or 2 more questions. And then we're doing our last giveaway. And we'll sign off for the day. Let's see. Thank you for all you do, Alex. Absolutely. I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. This is like my dream job. I didn't know that I loved teaching and helping people so much. I really didn't. I really didn't know I loved it this much, but this is like my calling. This is like what I'm meant to do. I love it. I'm so happy that I get to help you guys. Let's see. Do I play Red Dead Redemption 2? No, I don't. Back when I gamed, I haven't gamed for maybe like 8 years or so, ever since I had kids. I don't really game anymore. I play a little Clash of Clans. I play a little Clash Royale and this golf game on my phone. And I do that like for like 10 minutes a day. That's my gaming fix for my life now. Let's see. Yeah, there are data analysts at game companies, for sure. And I'm actually gonna talk a little bit about that for just a second because I actually think this is a really interesting concept that needs to be talked about more. Data analysis is not just a data analyst's job. Okay, so when you think, hey, I'm learning Excel, SQL, all these things, you're like, that's what a data analyst does. That is true, but data analysis, the act of analyzing data, is not just for a data analyst. I know so many accountants, I know so many lawyers even, who will do some form of data analysis. I have people in my life who know what I do for a living, and they're running a small business, or they're doing this or that, or my mother-in-law, she owns her own business. And so I've consulted with her before because they needed to do stuff in Excel and do all this automation from their CRM. And data analysis is not just for data analysts. It's for everybody. That's what I love. That's what I think a lot of people don't think about for data. And I don't know who asked that question. I'm not trying to dog you or anything, I promise. But data analysis work is throughout the whole business ecosystem, throughout almost all companies. It's everywhere. And when you start seeing that, you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of opportunities everywhere out there. It's not just the data analyst job title. Sometimes it's going to be like something else random that you never would have thought. But if you look at what they do, it's what a data analyst does. And so data analysts are everywhere. You would not believe how useful understanding how to use these tools are until you get out there and use them. That's been my experience, and a lot of other people who I've talked to experience. Like when you get out there in the real world, you start getting these different jobs, you're like, what's your job title? You're like, you're doing data analysis work. And they're like, yeah, I know, but I'm more on this side of things. So that's why my title is this. And we're like, oh, okay. And so just a little tidbit of knowledge there, a little tidbit of, I don't know if I'm going on a rant here or whatnot. I tend to do that a lot. I don't know if I'm going on a rant, but data analysis is everywhere. It's in business. It's in all parts of companies, not just the data analyst team. You're the data analyst team, and then all these other departments and groups within your thing, they do data analysis too, but they may not have the title of data analysis. It's amazing. You see it everywhere. When you start, it's like when you see a red car, you start looking for Teslas on the street, and you start seeing Teslas everywhere. When you start looking for people who do data analysis work, you're like, geez, this is everywhere. Everybody does it. So it's pretty awesome. All right, guys. I lied to you. I'm not going to be giving away 5 courses. I'm going to be giving away 6 because somebody guessed one of my other ones. I told you somebody did this last time. Somebody guessed banana in all caps. I don't know who it was, but congratulations. You did it. Why did you even guess banana? It always boggles my mind. This happens every stream I've been doing giveaways on Analyst Builder. Somebody guesses one of the codes. That is nuts. Great job. All right, I'm about to give away 6 more codes. 6 more codes. All you have to do is go over to analystbuilder.com, go to pricing, go to courses. I have all my courses on there. Find the course that you want. You're like, oh, I really want to learn AWS and Azure. I really want to learn MySQL. That is my most popular course, by the way. MySQL for data analytics. The most popular course on the whole platform. And then Excel. And then I think it's Python. But find the course you like, click buy. You don't have to buy it. I'll say it again for anyone who wasn't here before. You don't have to buy it. Okay? Go to add promotion code. I'm going to provide a code for you. There's a lot of people in this chat. Only 5 people can redeem it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a code. You type that code in. Try to pay it. Or try to buy it. If it doesn't work, don't buy the course. I don't want you to pay for it if you don't want it. I just want to give away courses for free. I'm very appreciative. We had over 2,300 people join this live stream. There's 256 right now, but over 2,000 people. And that just blows my mind. I don't even know 2,000 people. I know you guys, but I don't know 2,000 people like in real life. That blows my mind that so many people are here. So I'm just giving back because you guys have helped me so much over my career and on this whole YouTube journey. I just like giving back. It is one of my, I love doing it. And so I'm going to make this code. What do I need to make it? If you don't know, if you don't know, I just had a flood in my area. A hurricane came through. So the code word is flood, all caps, FLOOD. That's the code. Because my house is it was like a foot away from being flooded. I'm so glad it didn't. And then it stopped raining and now it's sunny out. So it feels really weird. I'm gonna blow my nose. Just ignore that. Don't look at that. Don't listen to me. All right, flood. That is, I got a smudge. That is the code. And believe it or not, I have one more code. It's the very final code. I hope you win. If you win, tell me what code you used, or tell me what course you got, because I want to know. I want to know what people are interested in. But we're going to give away 16 courses. Say those are 40 bucks a piece, like 500 bucks. I love doing that. That is amazing. I'm just appreciative of you guys, really. I really, really, really am. I hope you love it. I hope those courses help. I've had a lot of people who have gotten those courses and they message me and they're like, thank you so much. Like, that just meant the world. And it really warms my heart. Like, I want you to message me. I want you to tell me how awesome I am. No, I'm just kidding. It really makes me feel good inside. So if you do like the course, if you do get a course, let me know what course you got. Oh, I don't know how this is possible, but 6 people got that flood course or the flood code. So 6 people redeemed it. Great work. If you got one, let me know. All right, I'm going to give one code, and only one person is going to win this. It's only one. You have to go to analystbuilder.com, go to purchase the course. Don't have to actually purchase it, but then just there's the add promotion code. That's how you do it. People are asking. The last code, and this is true, the last code is I love you. All one, all caps, all one word. I love you. And that is true. I really do. So I hope someone got that course. If you did earn one of those courses, if you just typed the code and you got a free course, let me know. If you got kicked out or something, if it kicked you out or it didn't redeem it, means you didn't get it. I'm sorry. Some people got it, some people don't. But if you didn't get one and you still want to, buy a course, don't buy it full price. Okay, you use the code in the description, AUGUSTAB, for 25% off. So that's for all the people who didn't get the free one. I'm sorry, but you can still get one. And I really am appreciative of you guys. I'm gonna go watch my kids real quick. I'm gonna go watch my kids catch some frogs. That's what I'm gonna go do for just a little bit, and then I got work. I have other meetings today. I have like actual meetings. What time is it? Oh, I have it in an hour. Whew. Okay, somebody redeemed that. Awesome work, guys. Awesome work. I hope, I'm gonna check the chat. If you got one of the courses, let me know. Taha, I love you too. I really do. I hope everyone got a course. I know that's not possible, but I really hope that everyone who got a course really enjoys it. And just send me a message if you liked it or not, or if you have any feedback. I would love to hear it. All right, guys, that's our live stream for today. I did an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half. I was sick the whole time. I hope you don't mind my sniffling, my sneezing, my coughing, and my blowing nose. But I really do appreciate you guys being here. This has been fun. I always enjoy doing this with you guys. And I hope that if you were on the East Coast of the United States, that you are safe from the hurricane. I am safe. Do not worry. But I really, really appreciate it. Excuse me. So, with that being said, I am heading out. I'm going to go watch my kids. Oh, did my thing turn off? Oh, hey guys, my thing turned off. This is perfect timing. All right. Bye, guys.